Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Deep-3 here with winnersandwiners.com. It's currently Wednesday, February 26th, and before we get into today's plays of the day, quick announcement as to why I'm taking over the video once again. Unfortunately, Scott Steen has had to deal with his father being in the hospital for the last couple of weeks, and unfortunately his father actually passed away, so he will not be here for today's video, tomorrow's video, as well as Saturday's video, as him and his family have some stuff to prepare for. But either or, thoughts and prayers to the family. Sorry for their loss, and, hopefully things get better in the future. But either or, the show must go on, and for that reason I am here for Wednesday, and we'll be giving out the 3 plays. Now, the 3 plays I actually prepared last night. There has been some line movement in all 3 of the games, so it's been unfortunate based on the fact that the line has moved since then, but I still like the plays at the current line. And these plays are in no particular order. We're going to be starting with Villanova and against St. John's, and we like Villanova minus 12 here at home, and that line is available at minus 110 on DraftKings. It's mostly available at minus 12.5, even minus 13 in some spots, but DraftKings still has minus 112, has minus 12. So for that reason, that will be the first play of the day. Villanova actually won the first meeting in St. John's by 20. So Villanova matches up really well against St. John's. Villanova's also won each of its last 4 games. People haven't noticed, but Jay Wright's team once again flying under the radar in February into March, and I expect them to potentially make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. I personally have them at 40-1 to win the whole thing, so I'm a huge fan of this team. I got that a couple weeks ago. But either or, Villanova's the number 12 team in the country. They've been pretty much coasting recently, and St. John's been an absolute mess in conference play. St. John's is 3-11 in conference games. Really been struggling. They just got smacked by Seton Hall in their last game by double digits. I don't think they'll be able to keep this game close. Villanova just matches up really well with St. John's. St. John's likes to use a relatively smaller lineup and use some full court presses to try to keep offenses off guard. However, Villanova does pretty much the same thing, as they like to go with a small lineup as well. So I think that Villanova just simply has a solid recipe to deal with St. John's, and I think you should see Villanova win this game pretty easily. Villanova's won each of their last 3 games on the road. They're finally returning home, so I expect a decent home crowd showing in this game. And St. John's, despite the fact that they looked a little bit promising so far in the beginning of the season, they have definitely fallen apart in conference play, as I mentioned before. And their last 2 conference road games, they lost to Creighton by 12, and they lost to Seton Hall by 16. I just don't think St. John's is headed in the right direction. They've been really struggling lately, and if you've looked at the record, they are in terrible form, as they have lost 5 of their last 6 games. I just think this game's going to turn ugly. I think this game might be close for the first, I'd say, half of the first half, and I think Villanova will go on a certain run. Villanova's defense has also been really solid over the last couple of games, as they gave up 71 to Marquette. Marquette's a solid offense, that's fine. They gave up 56 to Temple on the road, complete shutdown performance. They gave up 55 in their last game to Xavier on the road. This defense is just absolutely clicking, and St. John's likes to play at a fast pace, so I think you should see Villanova get a decent amount of opportunities in transition. This game, I think, could look a little bit close, potentially being in the second half, but I expect Villanova to go on a run. I don't think that St. John's will have any answers. So for that reason, the first play on the Deep-3 is going to be on Villanova minus 12, and that line is available on DraftKings at minus 110. Now, the second play that we're going to be talking about is in college basketball, and this one is actually the main game that I was referring to when there was a lot of line movement. It's between Mercer and the Citadel, and we like the total at over 155.5, and that line is available on DraftKings at minus 108. I actually got this number last night at over 153, so at minus 110, so this line has definitely moved a lot, but I still like it at the current number. I know that it's added 3 points, which is a bit concerning, but based on how these 2 teams play, I definitely think it should get over the posted total. Mercer's been really solid offensively this season, as they have scored 85 points minimum in each of their last 2 games. Meanwhile, the Citadel, once again, has been terrible defensively. They're giving up 80.9 points per game throughout the season, and they've given up at least 91 points in 3 of their last 4 games. This team can't stop a nosebleed, and I think Mercer should be able to score at least 85 points in this game, give or take, which should bode well for the over. It is also worth mentioning that the Citadel are still averaging 76 points per game, so it's not like their offense has been struggling. Their offense is still pretty solid, and I think you should see both teams get into the high 70s or even into the 80s. So I think you should see this game be pretty high scoring. Plus, the Citadel also ranks 6th in the nation in adjusted offensive tempo, according to KenPom rankings, which means that they love to go up and down the court as quickly as possible, and I think they will dictate the pace as this game will turn into a track meet. So, similarly to the way that the Citadel's last game went against Western Carolina, I think you should see one team get into the 80s, potentially push 90, and I think this game should get into the 160s. So, for that reason, the second play is going to be on Mercer and the Citadel, over 155.5, and that line is available on DraftKings at -108. Now, the third play is actually going to be transitioning into the NBA. I got this line yesterday at -10. It's currently up to -11, but I still like it, and that one is available at -114 on DraftKings. It's mostly available at 11.5, even -12 in some spots, but it's still available at -11 on DraftKings at -114. And that play is going to be on the Houston Rockets as they take on the Memphis Grizzlies at home. The Rockets and the Grizzlies are just headed in opposite directions. The Rockets have won each of their last 4 games. Ever since they took Capella and they shipped him off, they've gone extremely small. I believe they're calling it micro ball in Houston, and it's definitely worked out. Houston's looked like a serious threat in the Western Conference. I don't know if they're good enough to win a 7-game series against the Clippers or the Lakers, but in the regular season, when you have small amount of time to prepare, Houston has definitely caught their opponents off guard. Meanwhile, Minnesota dealing with a decent amount of injuries that should cause some issues. They have lost each of their last 3 games as a result. Jaren Jackson's currently out. Brandon Clark's going to be out for this game. So their front court depth is definitely lacking in this game. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, maybe that's a good thing because Houston does play relatively small. So now the Grizzlies will be more encouraged to play a smaller brand of basketball. And to answer that, you might be right offensively, but at the end of the day, Jaren Jackson is a very solid rim protector, and so is Brandon Clark. And with both of them out of the lineup, I think you should see Westbrook have a pretty solid game with minimal resistance to the lane. The Rockets have completely coasted over the last couple of games. They beat the Knicks in their last game at home by 11, but you have to remember that Westbrook did not play in that game. So even though they didn't cover the point spread there, they still played really well. Meanwhile, the Grizzlies, they lost to the Kings on the road by 4. They lost to the Lakers on the road by 12. And they got smacked by the Clippers by 27 in their last game on the road. They were down 45-14 in the beginning of the second quarter. So that they look completely lost right now. They have the toughest remaining schedule in the entire league. I know Morant had a very solid year, and I understand that he's right now the front runner to win Rookie of the Year. But at the end of the day, their schedule is going to catch up to them, and I think this team is going to go into free fall. I just think Houston's more talented. I think they'll win this game pretty easily. Westbrook and Harden can go off like they did against Utah the other day, and I think you should see this game get relatively ugly. So for that reason, I think Houston should win this game by around 15, and for that reason, the third play is going to be on the Rockets -11, and that one is available at -114 on DraftKings. So, once again, before we conclude today's video, quick reminder of the 3 plays. First play is on Villanova -12, and that one is available on DraftKings at -110. The second play is going to be on Mercer and the Citadel, and that on the total, we like the over at 155.5, and that one is available on DraftKings at -108. And the third play will be on the Rockets -11, and that line is available at -114 on DraftKings. Other than that, though, that's good for the installment of the Deep 3 here with Winners and Whiners on Wednesday, February 26th. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.